What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a fragrance review from the house of Alexandria Fragrances, and this one is called Egyptian Seduction. Now this is an extrait de parfum. It was released in 2017. This is classified as a fresh, spicy, unisex fragrance for men and for women. Now the notes in this fragrance that you're going to get, as listed as per se on Alexandria Fragrances website: oud, jasmine, rose, sandalwood, spices, pepper, musk, and also added pheromones. I believe that's how you pronounce the name. I'm going to add two more notes that I get from this fragrance, which is incense and smoke. So let's go ahead and spray this on my hand, and I'll get the opening for you guys. I am actually wearing this as my scent of the day today. What is your scent of the day? And let's get right into this, okay? So in the opening, guys, it's really interesting. When I first sprayed this fragrance on, as like the first impression of this fragrance, I really loved it, okay? I really loved it. You get this nice, sweet, smooth agarwood note in here, and the oud is not barnyard, it's not pungent, it's very mass pleasing, okay? It's not gonna, you're not gonna be overwhelmed by it. It doesn't smell bad, okay? And the jasmine note in here is actually very nice, okay? Now I'm the one that doesn't really like florals in this fragrance, but jasmine is a white floral. It doesn't smell like a flower. However, the jasmine note, I feel like in this fragrance, adds the sweetness and the freshness to this fragrance, okay? And in the beginning, when you spray it on and you get that oud and you get that jasmine, it's a fresh, spicy oud. It's just a fresh, very, very aromatic, heavy, okay? It's a Middle Eastern vibe. Scent, there's Middle Eastern vibes all in this fragrance, but it's very fresh, okay, when you first spray it on. Now, when you get to the mid, now these notes aren't listed as top, mid, base, but when you get to the mid of this fragrance, guys, you're going to get this rose note, okay? And this is where I kind of have an issue with this fragrance, because it's listed as unisex, but when it hits this rose note in the mid, guys, it turns totally feminine, to me at least. It's a very powdery rose. Almost reminiscent of, I don't know if any ladies have tried this fragrance before, but my mom owns a bottle of this that I'm going to be doing a review on sometime in the near future. But this one is called Caesar's Woman Extravagant by Caesar. They used to sell this fragrance at Caesar's Palace here in Las Vegas years ago, back in the 90s when my mom picked up a bottle. And that almost fresh, I think that one's classified as a floral, fresh and spicy fragrance for women. And that once this fragrance hits that mid, that really reminds me of Caesar's Woman. So it turns feminine, which is something that I don't really care for, guys. But that luckily doesn't really last that long. I would say maybe 30 minutes, and then it starts to get into the dry down. Dry down is where this fragrance really shines, in my opinion. So once it hits the dry down, you're going to have this nice creamy sandalwood with a nice clean, fresh musk. It's not animalic at all, okay? Also, you're going to get a nice incense note in here, at least in my opinion, okay? Now, it's not listed in this fragrance, but this is what I get. I get a nice incense with burning incense, okay? But the incense is sandalwood, so it's a sandalwood scented incense, and it's burning, and it smells so good, and it's smoky, and that is what makes this fragrance really, really nice, in my opinion, and what it really does make it unisex. You're going to read online, it's really masculine. It's really not, guys. It actually leans a little bit more feminine, in my opinion, just because of that rose note, just because of that mid. Okay, but once that goes away and you get into the dry down, it actually turns more unisex. Now let's talk about longevity, projection, sillage, when and where, and my overall thoughts, right? So the projection is pretty nice for the first couple hours. I'd say for the first 2 to 3 hours, it actually pushes fairly well. It's not a beast, but it's going to push 3 to 4 feet, okay, for the first 2 to 3 hours. After that, it's going to drop off down to maybe a foot, okay? So it's going to be pretty loud. It's not screaming off your skin, but it's going to push enough to where people are going to notice you. But after that 2 to 3 hours, it's going to sit closer to your skin, okay? The sillage is absolutely fantastic. It smells good, okay? It smells so good, guys. You could spray this in your room, and you leave, and you come back a couple hours later. You're still going to be able to smell it. It's not going to be as strong, but you're still going to be able to smell it, and by the time you come back, it's going to get into that nice sandalwood musk with that burning incense kind of smoky smell, guys. It's absolutely amazing, okay? Now, how long does this last? I've been getting a consistent 8 to 9 hours out of this fragrance, and that's expected with these Alexandria fragrances, guys. You're mostly going to get a full day of work, you know, 9 to 5. You're a 9 to 5 dude like I am. You're going to get a full 8 hours or a full day of work, okay? But yes, consistently 8 to 9 hours, solid. After about that 9-hour mark, it's going to be sitting super close to your skin. But if you spray this on clothes, guys, I mean, it's not going to be super strong. Like, it's not going to stick on your clothes like forever, like red tobacco, but it's going to be there. You're going to smell it very faint, okay? But I mean, it smells amazing. And when and where, guys, I would say this is best suited for night. Best suited for night, guys. I mean, I wore this in the daytime. I work swings, so I wear this during the day. It doesn't really make a difference. But I think this is more suited for nights, date night, especially after that 2 to 3 hour mark. It's going to sit a little bit closer to your skin, so you're going to want somebody that they're going to have to come a little bit closer into your personal bubble to actually be able to smell you. Now, you will be able to smell yourself. Don't worry about that. But other people, you know, like I was saying, date night, they're going to have to come close to you to be able to smell you. Now, do I really like this fragrance? I do like it. I think it leans more feminine for me than what I'd like. You know, I'd really like it to be truly unisex, but just because of that powdery rose, it leans a little bit too feminine. Now, the rose note doesn't stick around that long, but it sticks around long enough to where, you know, for me at least, it's not something I care for, and that's why I think that it leans a little bit more feminine. Now, during the dry down, it does get close to that unisex area, so it doesn't lean too far to either one side, maybe a couple notches feminine, but that's just my opinion, guys. Overall, I'd say it's like a 7 out of 10. I mean, it's a nice smelling fragrance for sure. It just leans a little bit too feminine for me. Projection, sillage, longevity, all that stuff is good, but just the scent itself, it just leans a little bit too feminine for me, guys, okay? But I hope you guys like that review. I got more stuff coming up soon, guys. Stay safe and take care. And thank you so much for watching the channel. My channel's growing. Leave a comment down below. I love those. And I hope you guys having a good weekend, good week whenever you guys are watching this. And I'll catch you in my next video, guys. Thank you so much for watching Loc'd Fam. I'm your host, Dr.Goo. Catch you later. See ya. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another